BGN Motorsports proudly presents live exclusive coverage of the Advanced Auto Parts 500 from Martinsville, Virginia. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's been a little damp here this morning at Martinsville, but the rain has pretty much stopped, and we're going to get a very close to on-time start this afternoon. Who'll be the windshield and who'll be the bug? That's always been the question here at Martinsville. It's the nation's tightest, toughest half-mile racetrack. Long drag strip straightaways and paperclip U-turns at either end. It's a tough track on brakes, and it demands a lot of torque and super good handling getting into and off of the corner. That's what faces the Busch drivers today, and a lot of familiar faces in new rides this afternoon. Let's take a look at some of those changes. First off, Robert Presley was released as driver of the Alliance Tractor Trailer Training Center's car. He will drive Rick Mast's Skull Machine as they fire engines down on pit road. His seat is being taken by Dennis Setzer, who narrowly lost the Winston Racing Series championship to Barry Begerly. He will drive for Alliance next season, and they're getting a head start on that year right now. Also, Ernie Irvan. Jack Sprague released from the Staff America team, and Ernie Irvan takes over that ride for today. And the Food Country USA car of Charlie Henderson, driven by everybody's favorite couple of races at a time driver, Jimmy Hensley from nearby Ridgeway, Virginia. Jimmy Spencer is not here, so Waterville, Maine native Pete Silva takes over the Jack Ingram car. That will be the Kroger number 10. Now, earlier, Glenn Jarrett had a chance to talk with a couple of the drivers involved in these various late-season swaps that are not common in Busch Series racing. Glenn?
Well, it is all pretty confusing, but Dennis Setzer, you were all signed to drive the Alliance car for next year. Things just happened a little quicker than you thought.
Yeah, this is just a great deal to get a chance to drive for the Alliance Tractor Trailer Training Center car. It's a good team. Ricky Pearson, just a lot of knowledge there that can really teach me a lot in these last few races.
Well, speaking of knowledge, you've got some knowledge of this racetrack here. You're a past winner here.
Yeah, we've run real good in the late model stock cars. We've had some good finishes. Been coming here a long time. You know, it's a nice place to run.
Well, best of luck to you on your maiden voyage today.
Thank you, Glenn. We sure appreciate it.
Now, the van Setzer replaces Robert Presley, has a firm future for 1995. He replaces Harry Gann in the Winston Cup race. Had no ride for today and next season. Glenn?
Well, there's one guy who's also going to be keeping an eye on that number 59 car. That's Robert Presley. You're in the 0 car today, but does it feel a little strange to look over there and see the car that's taking you to all your Busch victories?
I hope we'll be in front of that thing, you know, here on the first couple laps. No, I can't tell what car I'm in, you know. This thing's black and gray, just about like what we got out of. Just really appreciate Rick Mast, U.S. Tobacco, and all the guys giving us a chance, you know, to get something where we could be in the race.
Well, speaking of just being in the race, you felt like this car had a shot at the pole.
Well, driver error again, you know, just messed up. We had a quickest car there in practice and about spun out the second lap. And we're sitting back here, but, you know, we're going to ride around, maybe try to act like a bandit a little bit.
Well, he can act like about anything he wants to. He loves this racetrack. This race car has always done well here. Mike?
Thanks, Glenn. Neil Bonnet will be alongside today as he is for all of our Busch Grand National coverages. And Neil, this tight race, point race, just keeps getting closer and closer. Let's show you the last 4 races, the results between Steve Grissom and David Green. You'll see that in each of the last 4 weeks, Green has finished ahead of the point leader, Grissom. What's that done to Steve's point lead? Well, just about knocked it apart from 155 points leaving Richmond all the way down to 45 points here. So Grissom's trying to hold that point lead. Green wants it back. What's Steve Grissom going to have to do today?
Mike, I tell you what, Grissom is always qualified back in the field, but all season long he's been able to overcome that and work his way to the front. He's all the way at the rear today. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. Martinsville is not the type of place you can come through that pack without using up a lot of race car, rolling the fenders back, wearing the brakes out. He's got a big problem catching Green up front today.
Now, what about David Green? Is it easier to be the chaser than the guy being chased for that lead?
Well, in all of races, sometimes you have offense and defense. Offense is the name of the game. You have to get defense every now and then on that racetrack, but as long as you're trying to advance and go forward, you're ahead of the game. Green is the guy trying to run Grissom down. I think it's kind of his favor mentally, but Grissom's a tough guy. He's fought him all year long, and it's going to be a tough race on the track where it should be.
It's a great battle for the championship, and just before they fired engines, Glenn Jarrett had a chance to talk with the man who wants the point lead back. Here's Glenn with David Green.
Earlier in the year, David Green seized the points lead. He kept it for over half the year. here, but then things kind of went away from him. You saw your lead dwindle. You're now in second, but boy, you've made big strides lately. Momentum's on your side.
Well, I hope so, Glenn. You know, first year it was a big surprise for me as a driver to be in this Bobby Labonte-owned car, Slim Jim. And we've led the points for a long time there, and we had a couple little problems. We lost the lead to Steve, and now he's had our share of problems too. But, you know, it's not going to be over till it's all over Atlanta, but we hope to capitalize here today.
Well, Steve says that the points really aren't on his mind, but you want this championship, don't you?
I think he's fibbing. No, I don't think about it a whole lot either, but here we are parked side by side in the garage and all that. But we've got a good race car here today, and the Slim Jim Chevrolet's running real good. And, you know, we're just going to let it stack up as it goes, and if we win, we get all the points.
Right now, he's got the advantage. He's far up in the field ahead of Steve Grissom.
They have the cars on the racetrack to complete drying it from this morning's shower and last night's rainstorm. So we'll be right back to Martinsville, Virginia, after this.
TNN Motorsports exclusive live coverage of the Advanced Auto Parts 500 is brought to you by Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in until you take them out. And by AC Delco. It's like buying time.
October is a busy month in the Busch Grand National Series as they continue to run around here under caution drying the track. Let's bring you up to date on the series with this week's Haviland Update. Charlotte Motor Speedway last week in the All-Pro Auto Parts 300. Bobby Dotter started on the pole, and right behind him quickly they go 3 wide. Ward Burton got the lead, but lost it to Mark Martin on lap 3. Tough day for Robert Presley. His race lasted only 19 laps, and he lost that ride earlier this week. Tom Peck, with a little help off the front of Randy LaJoie, goes spinning through the infield and around and into the wall. The unique format of this race had a scheduled halftime break, with Mark Martin in the lead at halftime. When they restarted, Ernie Irvin tried to put his Chevy up front, but threw a monkey wrench in the engine instead. Chuck Bound gets past on the low side. David Green started 30th and would finish 17th to gain more ground on number 31, point leader Steve Grissom. A bearing problem ended his day. Grissom finished 28th. Defending series champ Joe Nemechek would fall victim to a broken camshaft and be out of the race. Todd Bodine got the lead and would be the first Busch regular to finish, but here Mark Martin dives underneath to take the front spot for car owner Jack Roush and the big payday, $57,000. The point battle grows ever closer. Just 45 points separate Steve Grissom and David Green, with Joe Nemechek third, Ricky Craven fourth, and Chuck Bound fifth. That's how they stand with 4 races left to run in the Busch Grand National season. Now Sears Die-Hard battery with more power when you need it most brings you the starting lineup for this afternoon's race. Joe Nemechek is on the pole. 5 top 5 starts in his last 5 races, and Hermie Sadler, who won up at Rougemont, the rookie, is on the outside pole. In row number 2, Ernie Irvin in the Staff America car this week, and Chuck Bound, former champion. Row number 3, Johnny Rumley in the Big Dog Cole car, had a great qualifying effort and a good run for Rodney Combs. His Ford will start 6th. Row number 4, David Green brings the Slim Jim Chevy, number 2 in the points, and Dennis Setzer, the new driver for the Alliance team. Row number 5, that's Robert Presley driving Rick Mass, Skoll Chevy, and Tommy Houston continues his string 355 career starts. Tracy Leslie, Detroit Gasket car, and Ronald Cooper, after several years away, returns with a new car and a new sponsor, same old number, 56. In row number 7, Todd Bodine says he does real well when he starts 13th through 16th. Well, he's 13th today. And Bobby Dotter, who is 6th in the points, his highest placing ever since he started running this series, starts 14th. Back in row number 8, there's Jeff Burton in the Baby Ruth car. A little smoke out of that car as they tried to fire it up on pit road. And Jimmy Ansley from Bridgeway, Virginia. Jimmy said, make sure you put your car number to me on the radio so I know where to stop in the pits. He's driven so many cars this year. Shauna Robinson had a good run in qualifying. Her Polaroid car will start in 17th. And Terry Labonte has 400 folks from his sponsor, MW Windows, here to watch him run today. Back in 19, Pete Silva from Waterville, Maine, had a lot of success on the northern New England short tracks before coming south. He's driving for Kroger and Jack Ingram today. And the Randleman rookie, Nathan Bucky in 66. Back in row 11, there's Ricky Craven in the DuPont car, and Mike Wallace driving for Barry Owen. In row number 12, Ward Burton in the Hardee's Buick, and there's Joe Betsy from Maine in the AC Delco car. Row number 13, Hut Strickland driving the Mac Tools Davey Allison Ford, and Tom Peck in the Delco Remy Chevy. Row number 14, Dave Resendiz in the Lipton Teapot number 79, and Tim Fedowa, the new sponsor on that card today, a Virginia Racing newspaper. New one, Inside Track. Clay Brown will start inside of the 15th row in his unsponsored car, and there's Steve Grissom, the point leader, way back in 30th position. Then the provisional starters, Richard Lassiter in the number 5 and Roy Payne in his own number 27. They will start 31st and 32nd of the 42 cars that took time here at Martinsville. These laps under caution do not count, as they want to make sure the track is fully dry to go racing shortly. We'll be right back.